to Washington, and today we are at Mount St. Helens National Monument. And actually we've made our way up to the Johnston Observatory, which is pretty cool, and we're waiting on the movie to start.
Yeah, I think we got about 5 more minutes and we're going to watch something about the geological history of Mount St. Helens, which is behind us. It's pretty impressive. It's pretty big, obviously, and we'll see what we can see.
Yes.
It is 6:34-ish in the morning here. We decided to get up early and go to Mount Rainier.
Rainier.
Mount Rainier.
I think it's going to be rainier there because it's foggy and cloudy here right now.
Yep, it's foggier here in Rainier air, I reckon.
Maybe. I don't think so. But we might see snow.
Probably. We went to Mount St. Helens yesterday. Observed it from the observatory. It had snow on it. We observed.
And a big cloud that hung right over the top of it, so I couldn't see the point.
There was no point. It got blown off.
It's true, isn't it?
And our first hike of the morning, Shelly's already taken off the wrong direction. We're headed to Carter Falls. The Carter Falls Trail was supposed to be about a mile long. After a couple of miles, we decided that we weren't going to find the falls, so we turned around and headed back. But Shelly did get some good pictures of the pretty scenery. It's twisted.
I wonder why. I wonder what makes that happen.
This one's the same way. I guess it's just the way they grow.
The glaciers were such an amazing color of blue, and at least the scenery made up for not finding the waterfall.
So we just hiked about an hour and a half up a mountain. I think it's a 1,300 foot elevation increase
Something like that.
to Comet.
Comet Falls. My waterfall book said it was a 5-star waterfall, so even though the trail was rated as 1.7 miles and difficult, I thought we can do this. It's going to be worth it. 1.7 miles into it, we were not to the falls. It was in fact 2.4 miles away. And then we arrived at the falls you can see behind us and thought, wow, that is amazing. That's really cool. That was not Comet Falls. So we had to cross that bridge you can see and go another 200 feet off that way and found the falls. And you'll see some pictures of it, but it was amazing and worth it.
Very much worth it.
This hike was strenuous, and I wanted to give up several times, but determination to see the waterfall kept me going, and I'm very glad I did.
feet, 200 feet. What'd you say about that last one being a number 5-star?
This one's a 10. Well, maybe an 8. I don't know. Oh my God.
So we stopped over here in the Cascades National Park, and Cascades National Park is one of the least visited national parks in the United States. So there's not a whole lot of stuff, I guess, to do, and that's why people don't visit. But anyway, we stopped at the visitor center, asked for waterfall directions, and they directed us to leave the park and go on down a little ways to a different town and check out some waterfalls.
Yeah. Ladder Creek Falls is the first one we're going to see, and it's just outside of New Halem, or the town of New Halem.
New Halem.
So.
Yeah. Falls number 2.
Gorge Falls.
There's a bunch of falls. Well, some falls, waterfalls, over a gorge.
It's a 200-foot waterfall.
Want to see? It's way back there. There's no cost to see the North Cascades National Park. It's divided into sections to drive through and explore the backcountry. It actually spans several small towns. Diablo Lake was a really cool place to see. It's a reservoir in the North Cascade Mountains created by the Diablo Dam, and the lake is located between Ross Lake and Gorge Lake on the Skagit River. The interesting color of blue, the really light blue-green blue, is created by the way the light reflects off the silt that comes off the mountain from the glacial melt.
Was an interesting one.
Yes, this is the pause and reflect bench. Are we going to pause and reflect? Sit down and pause and reflect. Are you reflecting?
I am.
All right, let's go.
I was excited to see a waterfall that was named after a happy creek. However, we never found the falls.
Think that was it?
I think it might be because the water flow had sort of just disappeared, or maybe we just missed it.
So we're at Rialto Beach checking out the tide pools. There's a purple starfish. Another orange starfish. Looks like a hermit crab right here. It's a hermit crab. Yep, there's a couple right there. A bright purple one and a...
There's one of those. Is that an anemone?
Anemone? Sea urchin? Yeah, that's right. It's not a sea
crab
urchin.
down there.
Where?
He's on this side of the rock.
Oh, you're alive?
I don't know. He's upside down, so probably not.
Oh, yeah, he looks like a dead crab, too. A couple of good-sized starfish. Well, one big one and one small one. And more of those anemones, whatever you call them. Underwater sea life that's not underwater right now.
I didn't see the starfish.
You didn't see them?
No.
They're
Oh, goodness.
right down there. Underneath there. There's one over here. Over here. That's somewhat buried in sand.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about starfish is whenever they come up, I guess they suck down to the rocks or land or whatever, and that way they stay. They're hard to get to because their exoskeleton is really hard like a rock, but also it keeps them moist until the tide comes back in. Man, you can hardly see them whenever they're on the rocks.
Yeah.
And over here you'll see the northwestern sea geese. Not really, I think they're Canadian honkers, but they're over here enjoying the bounty of the tide pool, getting their bellies full on whatever it is they can eat. Probably all different kinds of mussels and grasses and plants, I don't know. They're having a good time over there though. Well, it's our first day in Washington. And we decided to come down to the Mount St. Helens Historical
National Monument.
And we're at the Visitor Center, and
we're gonna go see some stuff.
Okay guys, so let this be a lesson to some of you. If you're going to park along the side of the road and it's a steep embankment, try to keep your tires on the asphalt. Otherwise, you can slide off the side of the embankment, like this poor fella.